Hello and welcome to Change is Good. My name is Brian. We're going to go through another $500 box of half dollars. We have 50 rolls or 1,000 half dollars to go through. We'll be looking for silver, proofs, NIFCs, or coins not intended for circulation, foreign coins, mint errors, and varieties such as repunched mint mark. And if you're wondering, I believe this is the type 2 mint mark, the second of the two types. I'll have information about this in the video description if you want to check it out. All right, let's get back to the hunt. Roll number 4. We have an NIFC, or coin not intended for circulation. It's a 2005D with a mintage of 3.5 million. It's in pretty good shape too. Let's keep going. We're on roll number 15 and we have a variety. Here we have the reverses of two different 1971Ps. The top example is the regular die. The bottom example is DDR number 1 on Variety Vista. As you can see, the lettering is just a little bit thicker on the bottom example, and the bottom stairs of the S's are more rounded on the bottom example instead of being sharp and narrow on the top example. This is a pretty tough variety to identify, so if you're not sure, you can hold the coin like this and look for notches at the bottom right corners of the letter E in the word America. All right, let's go back to the box. We're on roll number 18, and we have another NIFC. This one is a 2005P with a mintage of 3.8 million. Now we've got the P&D set. Let's keep going. Roll number 20. We have another NIFC. This one's a 2003P with a mintage of 2.5 million. All right, let's get back to it. We're on roll number 36. And here we have a 1972P. If you turn it around and look at the top, you can see an area up here that was struck through grease, removing most of the letter O in the word of. It's minor, but it's a pretty cool mint error. Definitely worth pulling out. Let's get going. We're on the last roll. We're going to end off the hunt with an NIFC. It's a 2013D with a mintage of 4.6 million. All right, let's do a recap of the box. Well, that was a pretty tough box, but we did get 7 finds on the board, including one variety, a 1971P, DDR number 1, a circulated 1981S Type 2 proof, a 1972P with a struck-through grease error on the reverse. There were also 4 NIFCs, a 2003P, 2005P, a 2005D, and a 2013D, and I pulled a decent 1981D out for the albums. Now, if you look at the big picture, we had no silver and only one variety. And folks, you know what that means, don't you? Box number 2, you're up. All right, box number 2. Let's see what you have in store for us. Again, innocent looking box. Let's get into the rolls. We're on roll number 3 and we have a repunch mint mark. Under the scope is a 1973D. As you can see, the mint mark has suffered some damage on the lower left and the upper right, but you can still see a secondary mint mark peeking out here at the very top and here at the upper left. This is RPM number 1 on Variety Vista, even though it's in pretty tough shape. Let's get back to the hunt. Man, this box has been brutal. We're on roll number 27. And we have another proof. It's a 1984S in pretty tough shape. Not much mirror finish left on it anywhere. Only going to be worth face value in this condition, but we'll take it. Let's keep going. We're on roll number 33, and we have another repunch mint mark. Under the scope is a 1971D. I have it tilted so you can see the splitting here at the top left corner of the mint mark right there. This is RPM number 2 on Variety Vista and is a tough one to find. You got to keep your eyes peeled for this one. Let's go back to it. Roll number 40 will give us a couple of finds. And they're both NIFCs, or coins not intended for circulation, a 2007P with a mintage of 2.4 million and a 2015P with a mintage of 2.3 million. All right, 10 more rolls to go. Well, the last 10 rolls weren't very nice. Let's do a recap. Well, what you see is what you get. We had 5 finds in that box. 2 RPMs, a beat-up proof, and 2 NIFCs. Folks, that's not going to fly either. Box number 3 is coming up. Okay, we've got box number 3. This one has a different stamp, so maybe it's got different contents. Let's see what we have on top. Nothing promising. We'll know when we get into the rolls, though. Let's get started. We're on the 8th roll. We have our first DDO in 3 boxes. Let's go to the scope. Here we have a 1971D. You can see extra thickness in the date, the motto, If you look at the letter I, you can see a sloped serif at the top left and convexity down here at the bottom left. Over here in the word trust, you can see extra thickness in lettering splitting at the bottom of both legs of the R and the top of the U on both sides. If you look at the letter T in Liberty, you can see it's a bit wider than normal with widened split serifs on both sides, with the right side being wider than the left. And if you look at the E in Liberty, you'll normally see splitting at the end of the middle bar, but on this example, it's a bit wiggly struck around this letter, so it's hard to see the splits. We're on roll number 22. And we finally have something shiny here. $68D, first silver of the hunt, and it's a welcome sight. Let's keep going. Roll number 40. We have our first NIFC of the box, or coin not intended for circulation. It's a 2013 P with a mintage of 5 million. All right, 10 more rolls to go. Roll number 42. We have another NIFC. This is a 2003 D with a mintage of 2.5 million. All right, let's get back to it. I see an empty box. Let's do a recap. Well, it took us a while, but we finally got some silver on the board. We had a total of 4 finds in that box. One 1968D, 40% silver. One variety, a 1971D, DDO number 13. And 2 NIFCs, a 2003D and a 2013 P. I also pulled out 3 decent examples for the albums, a 1985D, 1986P, and a 2023 P. With these 2 editions from the 80s, we're actually going to have a full set from 1971 through 2013. All we're missing now are a few NIFCs and a lot of varieties. Well, after all that hunting, we finally got some silver and a DDO. That's good enough for me. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, or maybe learned something new, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any feedback or questions about any of these finds, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. Thanks again, and remember, every coin has a story. And some of those stories do seem a bit square, don't they? I'll see y'all next time.